The clock reads 2:47 in the morning. The glow of 3 monitors paints the room in cold blue light. Charts flicker, candles form, notifications ping, but he doesn't even hear them anymore. He's been here for 14 hours. His coffee's gone cold, his trade's worse. The screen shows numbers, but his mind only sees noise. He used to feel sharp, alive, like he could read the market's heartbeat. Now, every tick feels like a punch to the gut. He leans back, exhales, and mutters softly, "I just need one good trade." But deep down, he knows he's running on fumes. This is where many traders arrive without realizing it. A place where passion turns into pressure, where consistency turns into compulsion, where grind becomes decay. It's not the market that breaks them, it's burnout, the invisible thief of performance. Every trader begins with fire. They dream of freedom, no boss, no ceiling. But the market doesn't reward intensity, it rewards clarity. Burnout isn't about weakness, it's about energy mismanagement. You can have the best strategy in the world, but if your state of mind is depleted, you'll sabotage it subconsciously. And that's what makes burnout so dangerous. It disguises itself as dedication. You tell yourself you're just working harder, but in reality, you've crossed the invisible line from flow into friction, from focus into fatigue. And as Dr. Julie Gerner said, burnout is a response to overwhelming stress. It is emotional, mental, and physical exhaustion. Burnout is a collapse of your internal systems, your motivation, your attention, your emotional regulation. It's not just tiredness. It's your body and brain saying, "Stop, you've exceeded your limits." The paradox? The more skilled you are, the easier it is to burn out, because the better you get, the more pressure you put on yourself. Advanced traders often confuse exhaustion for effort. But performance isn't linear. It's cyclical, just like the markets. Ignore those cycles, and the market won't need to beat you. Your own biology will. Burnout is rarely about what you're doing, it's about how you're doing it. When you chase results with no recovery, you create a system that feeds on depletion. Modern hustle culture glorifies grind till you make it, but the market doesn't pay you for effort, it pays you for alignment. Think of a professional athlete. They don't train at max intensity every day. They periodize balancing volume, recovery, and performance. Most traders? They sprint every day, but mastery is a marathon. They want to arrive faster, but in the markets, impatience is just ego in disguise. Ask yourself, are you trading to win or trading to prove something? One builds longevity, the other breeds burnout. Burnout whispers before it screams, and it speaks in 4 stages. Attitude shift, behavior shift, vicious cycle, functional decline. The attitude shift. You stop feeling the same excitement. You start resenting the process you once loved. Frustration creeps in. You feel cynical, overwhelmed, pessimistic. You start thinking, maybe I'm not cut out for this. The danger isn't emotion, it's identification. You start to identify with frustration, and your trading mirrors that identity. This is the shift from growth to protection, from playing to win to playing not to lose. And as Mark Douglas said, the market reflects your deepest beliefs about yourself. When your attitude becomes pessimistic, the market becomes your mirror. The behavior shift. What used to be discipline now feels like duty. You procrastinate. You skip journaling. You hesitate on entries. You break your own rules not because you don't know better, but because your energy no longer supports consistency. Every trade becomes reactive, an emotional attempt to fix the discomfort inside. And that's the irony. You trade to escape stress, but trading under burnout creates more of it. The vicious cycle. Burnout compounds like capital, but instead of profits, it grows pain. Weak mindset leads to poor decisions. Poor decisions create worse results. Results feed more doubt, and the loop tightens. Most traders try to fight through it. They double down on discipline, but discipline without energy is punishment. That's not mastery. That's self-sabotage disguised as commitment. The functional decline. The final stage. You're at the desk but not present. Charts blur together. You click out of reflex. Nothing feels sharp anymore. Even small tasks feel like mountains to climb. This is when your nervous system declares bankruptcy. It's not about willpower anymore, it's about physiology. No quote, no pep talk, no strategy can override this. At this stage, recovery isn't optional, it's mandatory. And yet, as dark as it feels, this can be the turning point. Because once you've seen your limits, you can finally design a system that respects them. Recovery rebuilding the trader's energy system. Every trader who's been in the game long enough knows it's not the losing streaks that end careers. It's the inability to recover from them. The markets test more than your strategy. They test your capacity to reset, to regulate, to realign. Recovery isn't a luxury. It's a performance multiplier. Just as volatility expands and contracts, your mind has cycles too: expansion, depletion, restoration, and flow. Ignoring those cycles is like trading without a stop loss. Eventually, the drawdown comes for your mind. Let's start with step 1. Reclaiming awareness. You cannot fix what you won't face. And most traders don't realize they're burnt out because they normalize dysfunction. They mistake fatigue for discipline. They call numbness focus. They label emotional exhaustion as grind mode. Awareness begins with honesty. Ask yourself without judgment, am I trading from clarity or from compulsion? One creates flow. The other creates chaos. Once you acknowledge the depletion, your job is not to push through it, but to stabilize. Think of your mental state as equity. Every stress response is a withdrawal. Every moment of recovery is a deposit. Burnout occurs when your mental account hits 0. Step 2. Reset the nervous system. You can't outthink burnout because it's not a mental problem. It's physiological. The human nervous system has 2 gears, sympathetic and parasympathetic. One is for survival, the other is for restoration. Most traders get stuck in permanent fight or flight. Their screens, alerts, and constant micro-stress keep their bodies locked in survival mode even when they're not trading. And a nervous system in survival cannot access flow. So, recovery starts with training your physiology to downshift, not once, but consistently. Here's how advanced traders do it. 1 breath regulation. It sounds simple, but controlled breathing is one of the fastest ways to switch off cortisol and bring your body back to baseline. Practice the 4-7-8 method. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, exhale for 8. Do this between trades. Your nervous system will thank you. 2. Environmental detox. Your workspace should cue calm, not chaos. Declutter your charts. Minimize visual noise. Reduce ambient stressors, too much red, too many alerts, too much stimulation. A clean workspace isn't aesthetic, it's neurological hygiene. 3. Cognitive decompression. After intense market exposure, your brain needs detachment. Step away, move your body, walk, journal, reflect without judgment. Remember, recovery isn't the absence of activity, it's the presence of restoration. So, recovery starts with training your physiology to downshift, not once, but consistently. Here's how advanced traders do it. 1. Breath regulation. It sounds simple, but controlled breathing is one of the fastest ways to switch off cortisol and bring your body back to baseline. Practice the 4-7-8 method. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, exhale for 8. Do this between trades. Your nervous system will thank you. 2. Environmental detox. Your workspace should cue calm, not chaos. Declutter your charts. Minimize visual noise. Reduce ambient stressors. Too much red, too many alerts, too much stimulation. A clean workspace isn't aesthetic, it's neurological hygiene. 3. Cognitive decompression. After intense market exposure, your brain needs detachment. Step away, move your body, walk, journal, reflect without judgment. Remember, recovery isn't the absence of activity, it's the presence of restoration. Step 3. Rebuilding energy cycles. Burnout teaches you this truth: energy is your real trading capital. Once you respect that, you start designing your schedule like a professional athlete. Mark Douglas used to say, your job is to create the mental environment that allows you to execute flawlessly. That mental environment is built through rhythm. Here's how to rebuild yours. Segment your trading energy. Don't treat all hours equally. Identify your personal peak focus window, usually 2 to 4 hours. That's your flow zone. Outside that, focus on review, journaling, or recovery. Next, schedule deliberate disengagement. You wouldn't drive a race car full throttle for 6 hours, yet most traders do exactly that mentally. Insert micro breaks, a walk, music, silence, anything that resets neural bandwidth. Finally, build a shutdown ritual. Close the charts, log the lessons. Write one thing you did well and one thing you'll improve tomorrow. This trains your brain to associate closure with growth, not loss. Step 4. Redefine your relationship with progress. Many traders stay trapped in burnout because they equate rest with regression. But rest is not the opposite of progress, it's the foundation of it. Think of your edge as a muscle. Without recovery, it weakens. With recovery, it grows. In trading psychology, the law of rhythm is universal. Expansion, contraction, growth, reset. If you violate the rhythm, the market will remind you, not out of punishment, but precision. Step 5. Integrate flow and recovery. Once you've stabilized, your next mission is to create a system that prevents future burnout. That system is built on alignment, not intensity. You do this by designing routines that reinforce state management, morning focus calibration, midday reflection, evening decompression. When these become habitual, burnout loses its power. Advanced traders understand that performance isn't about emotion, it's about state. And your state is your responsibility. The most consistent traders don't control the market, they control their response to it. They don't chase energy, they manage it. They don't suppress emotion, they process it. They don't grind harder, they flow smarter. As Mark Douglas once said, the consistency you seek is in your mind, not in the markets. Recovery, therefore, isn't just rest. It's the act of returning to your highest mental state where clarity, patience, and confidence can exist again. Sustainable performance, the psychology of energy equity. Picture this: two traders, same strategy, same data, same opportunity. One burns out, the other thrives. What separates them isn't intellect, it's energy management. The ability to maintain internal equilibrium while the external world moves in chaos. This is where energy equity comes in. Your internal portfolio of attention, focus, emotion, and willpower. Every decision, every trade, every moment of stress is a debit or a credit against that account. The trader who treats energy like capital wins. Let's break down the 3 principles of sustainable trading performance. Principle 1: energy awareness. Most traders measure performance by profit and loss, but pros measure performance by times state quality asterisk. Because they know your state determines your decisions determine your outcome. Burnout begins the moment you stop tracking your state. Here's an exercise. Before every session, ask yourself 3 questions. 1. What is my energy level? 1 to 10. 2. What emotion am I carrying into the charts? 3. What would my ideal mental state feel like today? This creates self-observation, the seed of awareness. Awareness breaks autopilot. And when you trade consciously, you prevent burnout before it begins. Principle 2: energy allocation. Energy is finite. The more scattered your focus, the faster you deplete. Think of your attention as a lens. Narrow it, the light intensifies. Scatter it, the light weakens. High-performance traders operate within intentional focus windows. They structure their day into 3 types of energy blocks. 1. Creation blocks. These are your high-focus hours. Use them for market analysis, journaling, and execution. No multitasking, no distractions, just precision. 2. Maintenance blocks. Handle low-energy tasks. Here, research, emails, reviews, mechanical routines. Don't waste peak focus on maintenance work. 3. Recovery blocks. Active disengagement, walking, exercise, reflection, social connection. These are not off hours. They're strategic recovery zones. The very thing that allows your high-performance windows to exist. This system turns your trading life into a rhythm, not a grind. Because consistency isn't about doing more, it's about managing your capacity. Principle 3: emotional capital preservation. Every trade withdraws emotional capital, some more than others. The more attached you are to an outcome, the greater the emotional debit. Professional traders learn to minimize emotional exposure by detaching identity from results. They know a losing trade doesn't mean I'm a losing trader. That detachment protects their energy equity. Let's introduce the flow recovery loop. Neuroscience tells us the brain operates in waves of intense focus followed by decompression. Flow is a high dopamine, high noradrenaline state. Recovery is where serotonin and oxytocin restore balance. You can't stay in flow forever, you must oscillate. The mistake traders make is trying to extend flow indefinitely. But elite performance isn't about constant intensity. It's about cycling through intensity and release like an athlete's breath. Here's a practical integration. Trade in 90-minute sprints. Then disengage for 15 to 20 minutes. Step away from the screens. Walk, breathe, hydrate, reflect. During that downtime, let your subconscious integrate what you've learned. This is how neural consolidation occurs, where skill becomes intuition. The advanced layer energy tracking. Start tracking your energy like you track your trades. Create an energy journal. Note your focus, mood, and mental clarity each session. Patterns will emerge. You'll see which foods, sleep cycles, and routines optimize your execution. Over time, this creates what I call your personal performance signature. It's your individual rhythm, your unique ratio of stress and recovery that yields optimal clarity. This awareness is what separates pro traders from consistent amateurs. Pros are not superhuman. They're just deeply calibrated. Let's talk about cognitive bias and depletion. Under fatigue, your prefrontal cortex weakens. Decision fatigue increases impulsivity. You start seeing patterns that aren't there. You rationalize poor setups. Your risk of overtrading rises exponentially. This is why sustainable traders build guardrails. Hard daily stop limits, time-based session cutoffs, reflection rituals. These are not constraints, they're freedom systems, boundaries that protect the trader from their own psychology. Now, let's anchor this with a mental exercise. Exercise this, the 5-minute energy reset. Step 1. Sit back. Take a deep breath in for 4 seconds. Hold for 7. Exhale for 8. Step 2. Recall a trade where you felt calm, focused, and detached. Visualize it. Feel that mental space. Let your body memorize the sensation. Step 3. Open your eyes. Anchor that feeling with a single word. Clarity, flow, presence. Use that word before every session to trigger the same state. This is how pros regulate their energy, not by suppressing emotion, but by training the nervous system to recognize stability. Remember this truth. You don't rise to the level of your strategy, you fall to the level of your state. Your ability to manage energy, focus, and emotion defines how far you'll go in this game.